Welcome back, students. This is your Dean, CountXevious. Today, I'm here to shoutcast KevinSaludares' showdown round in the Brawler Cup. He finished the tournament as a challenger and ranked 242nd in the world and number 7 in Canada. He went on a 6-1 run, and we are going to take a look at all his battles from the starting till the end. Round number 1, he is going to go up against Mimichinflona, who is running that exciting Shadow Granbull that we saw Stone Collection do very well with in the showdown. Let's see how Kevin plays around it. Game number 1. Alright, leading with Wdage into Probo Pass. This is a neutral matchup depending on whether the Probo Pass is running Rock Throw or Spark. Spark being resisted by Wdage is going to not do quite a bit of damage, but this Rock Slide is going to do about 30% of Wdage's HP. Oh, it was a Magnet Bomb. Alright, that was surprising. Fair enough, Magnet Bomb has stab as well, so it's going to do well. This Aqua Tail is going to be super effective, and unfortunately for Kevin, Probo Pass is fairly tanky. Immediate swap into the CountXevious. This is very good for Kevin because he is just going to be able to crunch this down. Redent is being super bulky, is going to power through this any punishment this CountXevious is going to give it. Psychic is, yes, neutral, but then it doesn't have stab. Shadow Claw from the CountXevious, on the other hand, is resisted because of the normal typing of the Gradient. At this point, he can farm up a little bit more energy and then be in a good position to win swap and also punish what's at the back. This Body Slam should KO the CountXevious because it is very low. Oh, it doesn't KO and gives him an extra bullet lead worth of farm, and this is amazing. This Probo Pass is going to get punished by this Gradient. It still has fairly quite a bit of HP and can definitely, if shielded, would have been able to get to another crunch, but Kevin letting it go. Coming in with the Vigoroth, farming it down, and as you can see, it's a Shadow Granbull with 2 shields at the back. This is extremely rough for Kevin because the Shadow Granbull can power through both his Pokemon. Let's see if he's able to come back from this, let's say, unfortunate turn of events. I'm going for the Aqua Tail here. This needs to be shielded because Granbull is, as you can see, very squishy. It's at a point where I think one counter can take it out. Let's see. Oh, such a close game. I think there was a little bit of a visual bug there that it got 2 charms in, but that was round number 1. Let's see how he adapts. Probably he's going to try to bring something to deal with the Granbull at the back. Game number 2, Vigoroth into a Probo Pass. Great lead for Kevin. The counters are going to be super effective, and his opponent coming in with Surfetch. Wdage has a very good matchup against Surfetch because the Surfetch's counters are resisted, and at this point it can definitely farm down the Surfetch if the Surfetch decides to shield. It does not. Alright, so this is still good for Kevin. Winning swap in such dominating matchups is always perfect. Even timing his moves just about right so that the Wdage, the Probo Pass, is forced to throw his energy. This is perfect. This Aqua Tail is going to do about 25% of Probo Pass's HP. And then will he get to another Aqua Tail? Yes, he does. Alright, going in, this Probo Pass is now suddenly in a range where, oh my god, Qwilfish at the back. This is pretty interesting because Qwilfish does outpace the Vigoroth, and Kevin is also at a shield disadvantage. But luckily for him, he has a Lapras at the back that is definitely going to deal with Qwilfish quite well. Aqua Tail, unfortunate here, not calling the bait. This might prove a problem for Kevin, but the goal for Kevin right about now is probably chipping down this Qwilfish as much as possible so that he can do some work with the Lapras at the back. Will this be a sludge bomb to kill sludge wave to kill the Vigoroth? Yes, it is. Let's see how he decides to come into this matchup. Going in with the Dragalge here, and this Aqua Tail is probably going to kill the Dragalge. Lapras has a huge mountain to climb at the back at this point. Let's see if it can climb the mountain. Oh, that is neat. Catching the Silph there. This would probably kill the Probopass, and now all the money is on the Squillfish to get to double Sludge Waves. I don't think it can. The Sludge Wave does not KO the Lapras, and then the Lapras is at a Silph, and that Undertap is probably going to secure this game number 2 for Kevin. Alright, so he's 1-1. Let's see what he does for game number 3, leading Lapras into the Cofagrigus. This is a neutral matchup, and let's see how both these players decide to play this out. Will they shield? Will they go for the 0 shields? We'll find out. And if the Cofagrigus had a Dark Pulse, this would be a little bit more dominating matchup for the Cofagrigus. Having the Shadow Ball might actually push it in the favor of Lapras and the 0 shields. I am not entirely sure, but let's see how they decide to play it out. Yeah, right. Oh, coming in with a Sirfetch'd, immediate answer with a Dragalge. This Dragalge is going to hard punish this Sirfetch'd. Whatever it throws is not going to do enough damage to threaten the Dragalge, and this Aqua Tail pretty much KOs the Sirfetch'd. Incoming Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail lands 10% HP, that's 1 Dragon Tail, and there goes the Sirfetch'd. Let's see how he plays out. Bringing in the Cofagrigus here. Oh, Kevin getting to his Aqua Tail and now definitely forcing a shield. Oh, he does not. Alright, putting all the money on the Shadow Bull again. Let's see if this pays out this time around. The Lapras does have quite a bit of energy, but the question is, can it survive 2 charms? Oh man. Very well timed there by Kevin, not letting a charm sneak through, and hopefully get 2 shields from this Shadow Granbull, and then try to finish this game with the Lapras. Alright, every HP gone counts. I think the Lapras has a Silph, and this should definitely take out the Shadow Granbull. Very well played. Alright, round number 2, he's going up against former Silph legend Beach 7. As you can see, the stats are there to show itself. With a 71% win rate, Beach 7 is currently doing really well as well. He's also similar rank to Kevin, a little bit ahead with a little lower grid score. I think this is going to be a very close and interesting match. Let's see how they play it out. Some interesting picks there from B7 running the Unova Stunfisk. This is a very underrated Pokemon, but very spammy, and I think has a decent place in this meta for sure. Game number 1, let's see how it goes. Beat 7 going up against KevinSaludares. Leading Greedent into matchup. Oh my god, this is absolute nightmare of a matchup. Kevin needs to get out ASAP. Going into the Talonflame Safe Swap, Beat 7 opting to stay in. This is possibly a Rock Slide. Will Kevin shield? Oh, gets baited. I think an immediate swap is in order from Beat 7's side. But deciding to stay in and losing the Machamp if it goes unshielded. Will the Machamp get to another Rock Slide? Oh, I think he does. Kevin needs to either call the bait or lose both shields. Losing both shields, immediately coming in with the Cofagrigus to punish this Talonflame. Will he shield this? He does not, and that basically takes out this entire Cofagrigus. And this is going to be super costly for Beat 7. Kevin going for another Brave Bird. Will this be shielded? Yes, it is. Coming in with the Greedent, and this suddenly now looks super favorable for Kevin, because this Greedent is going to apply a lot of pressure with its super quick body slams, coming in with three bullet seeds and worth 35 energy. It is definitely going to outplace this Noctowl. Ooh, bit greedy here. Will this take out the Greedent? This is going to be still a very close game. Can this Noctowl farm down this Greedent and Sky Attack the Tropius? Oh, coming in with the Machamp and sniping the Greedent there, but it will not make it to another move. And the Noctowl now has its work cut out for it. Unfortunately, this Aerial Ace is probably going to kill the Noctowl, or put it in the range where one more Air Slash will take it out. Unfortunately, the Noctowl is gone. Game 1 goes to KevinSaludares. Right. Game number 2, exactly the same lead. Shadow Machamp into Greedent and swapping into the Talonflame. This time, Beat 7 brings a very convincing Talonflame answer, which is a Stunfisk. It resists everything that the Talonflame is going to throw at it, and this discharge is probably going to do a lot of damage to Talonflame. Unfortunately, the Ufisk is not running Thundershock, which means that its mud shots are barely doing any damage, which helps Talon get to another move. Oh, letting, oh wow, letting the Ufisk go. This is interesting. Now this Tropius is in a very good position to hard punish this Machamp, because Rock Slide, yes, it does a lot of damage, but calling the bait there, that is absolutely rough. Coming in with a Noctowl, and this Greedent is definitely going to punish this Noctowl. Both fairly bulky mon, so this matchup is going to go on for a while, I think, with the Greedent definitely outspamming the Noctowl. Great timings on the charge moves as well, allowing the opponent no opportunity to sneak, or just as I said it, the Noctowl sneaks a wing attack. But yeah. Shielding once, the first shield comes up for the Noctowl, preserving its HP so that the Tropius can do a little bit more work, and the Greedent now opts to shield as well. Greedent has 2 body slams stored, and probably Kevin would want to go back to back, or throw one more bullet seed and the next body slam. Oh, that was too late, and this is going to either get a shield, and it does get a shield. The play at this point for Beat 7 would be to immediately swap in his Machamp and try to beat the Tropius to the Rock Slide. Will it get to the Rock Slide? And it does, One more counter should take out the Tropius, but the Tropius gets the Leaf Blade. This will definitely kill the Machamp. He can opt to shield, he shields, and then one more counter should take out the Greedent. GG's, well played by Beat 7. Game number 3, leading the Greedent again, and this time it goes into a Noctowl. The bullet seed of the Greedent is resisted, but the body slam is not, and body slams come quick and fast. Noctowl is a very bulky mon, so I do think that the Noctowl is going to pull out a win in the 1-shell 0s and possibly not the 2s. Let's see how this matchup plays out. First Sky Attack, opting not to shield. This is going to do about 30% of Greedent's HP. It's such a bulky mon. As you can see, Sky Attack did nothing, but Noctowl is also equally bulky. Both of them are literally tickling each other. At this point, he can opt to let the Greedent go, but this will not KO. He will definitely get to this body slam, and hopefully the Noctowl can farm it down before the Greedent gets to its next body. Ooh! I did not see that swap happening. Bringing in the Lapras here, and this Lapras is going to do very well against the Ufisk, because the Ufisk is running Mudshot. But this discharge is going to do about 60% of Lapras's HP, and That means it can, oh, not even 60%, not even close to 60%. Will he shield, or will he just let the Lapras go? Opting to let the Lapras go and coming in with the Talon. Two shielded Talon is always scary to play against, and oh my god, it is a Machamp. This is absolutely rough for Beat 7. Talon is going to put on so much work against this Shadow Machamp. At this point, best case scenario, you just go straight for the cross chops. There's nothing else you can do here. And as Kevin should be playing, he's going straight for the Flame Charge as well. Oh, no sneak there. Will the Machamp get to the third cross chop is the big question. I don't think he will, going into the Noxal, and this is going to be super hard punished by Kevin's Talon. Let's see if the Machamp can get to the next cross chop. If it does, then it's, oh, it does not. That is absolutely unfortunate. Very well played by both players. All right, now let's see if we can get into game number 3. All right, at this point, Kevin is 2-0 into the showdown, going up against Bulk 88. He was at that point of time ranked number 1 in the United States and number 2 in the global ranking. So absolute monster of a player with a 95 crit score. That is insane for the amount of games he's played. That is absolutely insane. So he's not gotten 3-0 at all based on the score there. And let's see how he plays against one of the best players in the world. Game number 1. All right, great lead. Cofagrigus, Gradient into the Cofagrigus, immediate swap out into the Vigoroth by Kevin, by Bulk 7. Kevin opting to stay in and throw this Body Slam to chip away or do a little bit of damage to the Vigoroth. Coming with the Talon, and this Talon is going to get punished with its first Body Slam of the day. And there's a huge chance that this Vigoroth is going to get to the second Body Slam before the Talon gets to the Flame Charge, but it does not. This Flame Charge pretty much KOs the Vigoroth, and the shield comes up for the Vigoroth. Oh man, that's a lot of energy going through there. This Talon is now most definitely opting to shield, so to preserve 1, a very boosted Talon, and 2, taking the Vigoroth out as well. Oh my god, that is heavy. Will it get to this Brave Bird? Oh, it does, and this Brave Bird is gonna definitely knock out this Cofagrigus. At the back, it's going to be a Lapras, and this Vigoroth is going to hard punish this Lapras. With a shield advantage, it is an absolute a mountain that the Lapras cannot slide to the top of. It is over and a half. Shielding the Silph because, well, there's no need to make the game harder than it should be. Very well played by Kevin. Let's see how Bulk 88 adapts. Vigoroth again into the Ninetales. That is a Kanto shiny Ninetales, which explains why it's white. And this is, let's say, an even matchup in the end, because you need to land the Bulldoze to try and secure this win. And the Kanto Ninetales can go straight where the ball gets baited there. And at this point, the Vigoroth is in a commanding position. Weather Ball coming in, and it's shielded, possibly going for the next Weather Ball here, but the Vigoroth opting to throw on the Body Slam. He's 1 away from the Bulldoze, and he's hoping the opponent doesn't count, but the opponent does count. This Weather Ball is going to do... Oh, it was an overheat. Wow, will he immediately swap out? No, giving the Vigoroth quite a bit of farm there. Coming in with the Cofagrigus, and this is perfect because whatever the Vigoroth throws at the Cofagrigus, it does not have the shield because it doesn't do a lot of damage. Yes, Vigoroth is a normal type, and yes, Cofagrigus is a ghost type, but Vigorous charge moves aren't the best. Bulldoze is going to do neutral damage, but it's not a great move. As you can see there, it did not do as much damage as a move like that should be doing. This is probably a Psychic. It's a Dark Pulse. Cofagrigus, that definitely takes out the Vigoroth. Incoming Vigoroth at the back with a shield advantage, going up against the Talonflame. This is 100% very important to preserve this Vigoroth. The Vigoroth needs to be protected at all costs. The second Body Slam is potentially going to take out the Talonflame or leave it with such a little amount of HP that shielding once and throwing one counter, Talonflame is going to go down before the Vigoroth takes any damage whatsoever, and that is how the Talon crumbles. And coming in with the Greedent, this Vigoroth is also equally spammy and equally bulky, and it's going to do a lot of damage to the Greedent. What we should also remember is that there is a Cofagrigus at the back with a Dark Pulse stored as well. So at any point, Bulk can switch in his Cofagrigus, Dark Pulse the Greedent, secure the win, and everything's peachy. Let's see what he does. Lets the Vigoroth go, in comes the Cofagrigus, and in comes the Dark Pulse, and this should definitely take out this Greedent, no matter how bulky it is. GG's. Game number 3, it's 1-1, let's see how they adapt. Vigoroth into Greedent, absolutely worst lead, and opting to go into the Vigoroth mirror here. At this point, it's he sneaks, I sneak. Anybody who sneaks is probably going to come out of this matchup with oh, that extra counter there. That is going to even out the energy advantage that the Vigoroth had. Will this come down to CMP? Nope. Immediate swap into the A9, going for the Body Slam again because he knows that this Vigoroth is not going to get to the Bulldoze before it gets Weatherbolt. Incoming Weatherbolt. This is going to take out the Vigoroth. Boom. Oh, this is rough. Talonflame is at this point in the driving seat. It can opt to either flame charge right now or farm a little bit more energy to make the things a lot harder for Bulk's backline. Letting the Ninetales go, what is it at the back? It is a Cofagrigus at the back. At this point, what Bulk needs to possibly do is to farm down or do as much damage as he can. Oh, did he catch a Dark Pulse? I think this is a Dark Pulse. Yes, he caught a Dark Pulse, and this is going to be super rough. The Cofagrigus now definitely needs to farm quite a bit of energy. In comes the Vigoroth, and it's going to take 2 Body Slams to the face, back to back. First Body Slam and the second Body Slam. This should potentially KO the Vigoroth or leave it with 1 HP. It does not, and it is unfortunate. This game is done and dusted. The Talon is 1 away from the next Flame Charge, and this Greedent is going to go to town into the Cofagrigus. Yeah, opting not to shield, perfect, because his Dark Pulse does not KO the Greedent. Greedent is a thick boy. Going for the Body Slam here. Will he shield? At this point you can shield and then throw the Body Slam and secure the win. Very well played. Game 3 secured, and Kevin is now 3-0 into the showdown. Alright, Kevin is now 3-0 into this tournament, and he is going up against Wdage, another battler from the United States. As you can see from his stats, he's ranked higher than Kevin, a good 60 ranks higher than Kevin. And both of them having a season high ending of Ace last season, and both of them having very, very similar SPY scores as well. Let's see. Interestingly, there's a Clefable on there, and I would like to see how this match plays out. Game number 1, Wdage going up against KevinSaludares. Vigoroth into Machamp. Absolutely horrific lead there. Going into the Tropius safe swap and baiting out the Mantine. The Mantine has Wing Attack, and probably Bubble Beam, Ice Beam. Let's see how Kevin decides to play out this matchup. Will he come in and try to take a shield advantage, or will he just let the Tropius go and set up for a farm on the Vigoroth? Ice Beam, and it takes out the Tropius. Oh, that is unfortunate. Let's see what he decides to come in with. He has to come in with a Vigoroth, and this Vigoroth is potentially... Okay, it would have been Bubble Beam nerfed, but it needed one more for the Mantine to get to the Bubble Beam and throwing and throwing the Body Slam so that it does not get debuffed. Oh, it's running Aerial Ace, and that is very interesting as well on the Mantine. Now this Machamp is going to go to town. Oh, Wdage with an amazing catch, catching the Body Slam onto a Sableye. Oh, that is rough. Now Talonflame into the Sableye. This is a very, very iffy matchup for both. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar how the two shield matchup works out, but if you shield through most of it, I think Talonflame should come on top. Let's see. Going for the flame charge here, as you should, get as much damage as possible onto the Sableye and potentially try to survive, I guess. But oh, that is rough. That is very rough. I think at this point Kevin knows that there's no win con, and I think he's letting it go. The Machamp is going to come in for the cleanup here. 2 counters, takes out the Talon, and the Vigoroth is also going to get hard punished. Very, very RPS matchup, unfortunately for Kevin. There was not a lot he could do. Let's see if he adapts game number 2. Again, a leading Greedent in game number 2 as well. This should be a neutralist matchup. Bullet Seed is neutral against Mantine because of its part water type and part flying type. Incoming Sableye. Oh, this is super risky. This crunch is going to do quite a bit of damage to the Sableye, and at this point, as Wdage needs just hope and pray, he does not get debuffed. Sableye gets to the foul play. This is going to do about 30 to 35% of Greedent's HP, and Greedent gets to the crunch again. And at this pace, it's going to get to another crunch to kill the Sableye. Let's see how he decides to play it out. Saves the energy and goes into the Talonflame. Will the Talon be able to farm it down? Unfortunately, it does not. This foul play is going to be out. But the good news is that the Talon now has quite a bit of energy, and it's no longer afraid of this Bubble Beam from the Mantine because, oh my god, it's a Machamp. It's going to get Brave Birded if it doesn't shield. Great play, and now I think that Machamp should be able to farm down the Talon. With such a huge energy lead, it is looking really, really terrible for KevinSaludares. Will Wdage call what's at the back and shield his Machamp? Yes, he does. He's potentially going for the farm down. Can he? And he gets the farm down. 2 shields, Shadow Machamp versus Lapras. Will he get to 3 cross chops? Cross chop number 1 should be shielded. He should throw 1 more counter and throw a second cross chop. It should again be shielded at this rate. 1 more counter, and will he get to his 3rd? And he does. This should take out this Lapras as Shadow Machamp is... Oh, it does not... Barely doesn't... Wait, was there a swap there? Did he catch the Surf onto the Mantine? Yes, he did. And this game is over. GG's Wdage. Alright, with that win, going straight into round number 5. Kevin is now 3-1 and hoping to get back into winning ways. We did not show game number 3 because whenever there's a 2-0, game number 3 no longer matters towards your final result unless you're looking at the rankings. Kevin is going to play against RedValorGARMx, who is again a top battler from Mexico, who's also again ranked higher than Kevin. Pretty interesting team there. Diggersby is going to do a lot of work against KevinSaludares' team, based on whether it has Hyper Beam or Fire Punch. or Earthquake. So let's see how they played out. RedValorGARMx going up against KevinSaludares. Gradient lead again. Kevin's been leading Gradient every other game. This is the semi-positive matchup, to be honest. If you have a high IV Sableye, you should be able to pick this matchup if you don't get a crunch debuff. You can go straight foul play in the one shields to pick up this matchup because, well, Sableye is broken. It is a ghost type, it's supposed to lose to normal, but it is not. Why? Because Sableye is broken. Oh, going for the crunch again. This crunch will not KO the Sableye. It will survive to be able to throw one more foul play. Going for the shield there, it was a CMP, unfortunate, and gets a shield back from this Gradient. Let's see how they played out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, CMP, and Sableye wins CMP. Will this foul play take out the Gradient? Oh, barely survives with maybe 1 or 2 HP to definitely kill at the same. Oh, ow. Jirachi coming into the Lapras. This is not great. Potentially showing his hand that he has something weak to the Lapras at the back, which is probably a Diggersby or a Tropius. So Kevin is now definitely in the driving seat. He has his Gradient at a HP where he can use it as a sack. Incoming, the second surf is coming in, and this should probably take out, almost take out the Jirachi, and gets 2 more ice shards in there. 2 ice shards away from, oh man, it was his own Lapras. Oh, this is rough. This is rough, but with so much farm and a shield advantage, I think Talonflame should be able to pull this off if it manages to catch a move on to the Gradient. But will it? Let's find out. Oh, swapping it to Sableye there. This should almost take out the Talonflame. Will he be able to farm it down though? This could prove costly. Going for the Brave Bird here, and this is a Shadow Lapras. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah, ow. Damn, that swap costed Red Valor the game. I think he could have stayed in with the Lapras and potentially won the game there. But well, you make mistakes in high stakes games anyways. Well played. Game number 2. Let's see if Red Valor adapts. Gradient lead again into a Lapras. This is meh. It's a meh lead. Both fairly bulky mons, and okay, the Lapras is a wee bit slow. Interesting. All right. Lapras is at a surf and 5 ice shards, and this surf is not going to do so much damage to the Gradient because, well, Gradient is bulky. This Body Slam, on the other hand, is going to do quite a bit of damage to Lapras, but it's the same thing. Lapras is bulky, but unfortunately it's a Shadow Lapras, so it does a little bit more than what it should have. Body Slam again, goes shielded by the Lapras. Will he get to the surf before the Gradient gets to the next Body Slam? He does not. Opting not to shield, saving the move on the Lapras there, swapping into the Sableye, and the Sableye is going to eat a crunch to its face. It's unfortunate. Now all he has to do is hope for no debuff, and he gets debuffed. That is unfortunate, forcing him to throw his energy into the Gradient, and the Gradient pulling up a shield. Very interesting. This means that he can get to another crunch, and since it's debuffed, it's going to probably do about 40% of Sableye. There you go. Oh man, this is rough. Farm down again with a Body Slam stored. Whatever comes in gets a Body Slam. Oh, it's a Jirachi. It would have not survived the confusion, so it was the best move to throw the Body Slam there. And it's a Talonflame. It doesn't really matter. This Lapras can throw a Surf, but it's going to get farmed down. Oh my god. Oh, it's even a bigger at the back. This is absolutely the worst possible place that Jirachi can be right now. And this match is over. Can go straight body slams here. Body slam is resisted by the steel tapping of Jirachi, but it doesn't matter. Jirachi is very, very flimsy in the Great League, and this body slam is probably going to be enough to put it in the red for Talonflame to just use one flame charge or even a counter. GG's. Alright, at this point Kevin is 4-1 in the tournament, and it's going to be his round number 6 going up against Big Green. Again, amazing player, previous season legend, currently ranked a lot higher than KevinSaludares. Coming in with an interesting theme, 3 shadow Pokemon, and that's going to be anchored by, let's say, the bulk of the Cofagrigus, Sableye, and let's say the charge move pressure by Jirachi. Let's see how they play it out. Game number 1, will it be another gradient lead? Let's see. Kevin versus Big Green. Oh, it's a Talonflame lead into a Sableye. This is an iffy matchup to say the best, but this Talonflame is in a decent position to stay in here, throw the flame charge, get boosted. Oh, going for the Brave Bird here. Will the Sableye shield? If it doesn't shield, this is going to be very, very costly for Big Green. Gets a shield, immediate swap into the Gradient. What will the Sableye do? He's opting to stay in. Probably wants to chip down this Gradient, goes for the return, and that does so much damage. That's the first time I've seen a Gradient lose 60% of its HP in one move. Going for the crunch, catching it on the Jirachi surprisingly there, because this second crunch is going to kill the Jirachi. The play was possibly because Jirachi had no play against the Talonflame. Basically get it out of the way and try to play with whatever is at the back. Cofagrigus is in here. Wow, that's 3 Pokemon, line of 3 that's weak to Gradient. Oh, it's just very, very risky, and unfortunately it's not going to pan out. This should be an easy win for KevinSaludares. He can shield here, throw another crunch, and still try to threaten to get to the next crunch. The Cofagrigus will 100% have to throw. Ooh, swapping the Sableye in, and this Sableye is going to eat another crunch to its face and getting it shielded. And this Talonflame is now going to do what Talonflame does, either flame charge or put the Sableye in a level that the Tropius can sweep. Another flame charge here. This is going to do quite a bit of damage. Does not KO, unfortunately, and this sorry, the foul play does not KO the Talonflame, and this flame charge is also possibly not going to okay, it does KO the Sableye. Sorry, my bad. Ideally what Kevin would have wanted is to not reveal his last Pokemon, but he does. He's forced to, which is great news for Big Green, because he can now decide whether how to play against Kevin's lineup in game number 2. Possibly bring in a hard counter for the Gradient, which did so much work. It single-handedly took down 2.5 Pokemon of Big Green's team of 3. Alright, game number 2, Tropius into Granbull. This is an okayish lead, because with the Charmer you possibly go for a 2 shield farm down, and you can 100% try to get a shield off the Tropius with a crunch, or you can opt to just, oh wow, catching it on the Cofagrigus. That is an amazing play there. Coming in with a Gradient, what is this move? Did he catch a Shadow Ball, or is this a Dark Pulse? It's a Shadow Ball. That was a big catch by Kevin, and this Gradient is now the happiest little beaver you can. I don't know if it's a beaver or a squirrel. I'm gonna call it a squirrel. It's a very happy squirrel. It's gonna get to 2 crunches, energy saved up, and this crunch is gonna put the Cofagrigus in a range where it can still get a little bit more farm. No, it does not. It does 100% take out the Cofagrigus. Incoming with Champ, as I said, he had to bring a really hard answer to the Gradient, and oh man, the Gradient is forcing 2 shields from the Machamp, or possibly 1 shield, and then it should let this go. Oh, this is rough. The Machamp has a lot of play against the backline of Kevin, but Kevin with 2 shields is sitting pretty in this matchup. Oh All right, I guess Big Green knows that he does not have a lot of play in this matchup and just letting the game go. GG's well played from both sides. Big Green just got caught by KevinSaludares and his Greedent. All right, final round for Kevin going up against Cool Kid 4560. He has one of the most interesting teams I've seen in the showdown. While I was casting it, I was also very intrigued by his team. Sylveon and Meganium are two Pokemon that you barely see, and he's made a huge progress with his team. Let's see how Kevin decides to play it out. And if you just look at the teams, you can see that there's honestly not a real answer for the Greedent on Cool Kid's side. Let's see if Kevin decides to lead his Greedent again. Game number 1, leading Vigoroth into a Lapras. Oh, this is amazing lead. For Kevin, this Lapras has no play. Immediate safe swap into the Drapion. Drapion also does not have a winning matchup against the Vigoroth, and this Body Slam is gonna hurt the Drapion. Yes, it's a bulky creature, but Vigoroth is bulkier. The Sludge Bomb, if it is, a Sludge Bomb does not KO. If it's a Crunch, it doesn't KO either, but there's a defense fall, but the Vigoroth gets to the next Body Slam before the Drapion can get to its second Crunch. Forcing a shield here. This is another Crunch. Will Vigoroth shield? Does he want to save his? Nope, he does not. He can now opt to either come in with a Talonflame and farm down, or come in with a Greedent and farm down. Both of these are absolutely horrific for Cool Kid, because oh man, going for the Body Slam there, very well timed. No sneak, and this Greedent is definitely going to put quite a bit of hurt into the Lapras. This swap is exactly what Kevin wants, because he wants his Talonflame to stay the hell away from the Lapras. This Lapras is getting greedy here, trying to go for the farm down, but knowing that it can no longer do it, had to stop. I think at this point you shield the Talon, and you can farm down this Lapras, because that was 1 Incinerate, that's 2, maybe not be able to, oh, just enough to take out the Lapras. Whatever's at the back, oh, it's a Frostlass. Oh, it's a Frostlass. I feel sad for this Frostlass. Oh, very nice play. Kevin, knowing that was his win, that was Cool Kid's win con, being patient there and not letting the sack get to him. Very well played. So game number 2 of his last round. He's 5-1. Let's see how he gets his 6-0. Greedent going up against Frostlass. Again, a great lead for Greedent. Cool Kid does not have a great answer to the Greedent. And this Crunch is going to do a lot of damage to the Frostlass. Why? Because Frostlass is not the bulkiest of mons. Opting not to shield and getting the defense debuff as well. This Avalanche from the Frostlass is possibly going to do about 50% of Greedent's HP. And Greedent can now confidently knock this Frostlass out of the park if the Crunch lands. Yes, it does. Lapras coming in, going for the farm down there, going to tank a Body Slam from the Greedent. At this point, what Kevin must be thinking is that there is a Drapion at the back, so without the Lapras getting too much of an energy lead, comes in with his own Lapras, basically most possibly to tank. Oh my god, calls a Surf. Oh my god, that is absolutely rough. Oh, calling the Surf, getting to the Skull Bash first, forcing the shield on Cool Kid here, because if he does not shield, his Lapras is gone. Oh, that is rough. This Skull Bash, unfortunately, is not going to be enough to take out the Lapras because it got boosted. Going for the Surf first there for the bait was very costly for the Cool Kid, and it's unfortunate, but let's see how these two decide to play it out. Will the Lapras get to the Surf? Oh, it does. There was a frame drop there, but this Surf is not going to kill the Lapras, saving the energy, going into the Drapion. As I said before, Kevin, 100% knew that the Drapion is the back, saving 2 shields for the Talon, and at this point this is GG. There is not a lot Cool Kid can do to win this matchup, because the Talon does, it just shreds through this team now. He can opt to shield, but I think he has to save the shield for the Lapras, or at least get enough energy to make sure that the Lapras is killed by the Talon. One more Incinerate and that should take out the Drapion, and with no shields, Talon is going to go down into the Lapras, and this is going to be GG's. Very well played by Kevin, going 6-1 in his first showdown. That is very, very impressive. I don't know what rank he's ended up, possibly waiting for the recalibration, like he always does. Great job, well played. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Definitely check us out on Twitch. We stream Silph content and also the Gym Breakers content. Follow us on our Twitter at PvP_my. Also, thank you so much to our Patreons. You really help us, keep us motivated, and try to produce quality content. See you soon, guys. Bye.